Doma Sports Talk, worldwide, with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now let's move up to the heavyweights, because that's where everything is going down right now. The heavyweights are back. You know what I mean? Things are going down. There's a lot of news with the heavyweights, and I haven't checked the news yet, really. The last news I have is what this is going to be, right? Well, no, another thing I'm going to say after this one. But we're going to talk a little Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, the rankings, and Andy Ruiz Jr., right? The rankings. Who should the number one heavyweight be? Well, if you leave it up to Ring Magazine, and y'all know how I feel about Ring Magazine, this is the same magazine that done some things. I'm going to leave it at that for right now. I might get to it later in the video. So I don't care what Ring Magazine says. Haven't for the last 2.5 years. Right? Ring Magazine has to do something. They have to denounce what they've done, what they're a part of, before I care. Right? Because I've seen some obvious behavior patterns from Ring Magazine. But some people still call it the boxing Bible. Well, if that's the Bible, then I'm an atheist. Okay? And I'm not an atheist. So therefore, there's a problem there. Well, they have Tyson Fury number one. I'm not surprised at that. They have Tyson Fury number one, Deontay Wilder number two, I think Ruiz number three. Now, seconds out, the poll, seconds out, some people, if you're in the boxing, doesn't matter. Somebody polled about 500 people, and they have Tyson Fury up by 63%. He's 63%. Andy Ruiz, 23%. Deontay Wilder, 14%. Now, Anthony Joshua is going to be on fourth place and maybe a little bit lower, but, fourth or fifth place. Maybe you only lost once. We ain't no reason to take him from one and put him down 7 to 8 behind those people. No, 4 is about right for Anthony Joshua. We had 22 fights, 3 titles, and was handling his business and was knocking out everybody except one person. So you can lose a fight, right? Let's see what happens when he comes back. So fourth is good for Anthony Joshua, I think, right? But okay, so everyone has a positive argument, right? Let's go Tyson Fury. His argument. His argument would be, right, lineal champ. I beat Vladimir Klitschko when nobody was beating Vladimir Klitschko 10 times. 10 times. 10 years. Nobody beat Vladimir Klitschko. He was extremely dominant. And your boy Tyson Fury beat him, right? Then his other claim to fame would be the draw with Deontay Wilder, who many feel he won, right? He didn't get the nod, but many feel he won. So because of that, and because he beat Vladimir Klitschko, that would be his arguments to be number one, right? Because his record, he's got about 23 or 24. I don't remember his record, but he's not got that many. He's not up to 30 fights. He's about 23, 24 fights. Didn't look at it before doing this video, right? So that's an argument. You got an argument there. We'll get to the negative arguments later. We're going to do positive. Andy Ruiz Jr., right? Andy Ruiz Jr., all right, the positive is, hey, I only lost one fight to Joseph Parker in New Zealand on a split decision. What I say about split decisions in somebody else's house, you probably won that fight. So it was that close, right? So only lost. And he beat Anthony Joshua, who was number one, right? Bam. There you have it. That's the reason enough for him to be considered number one. Now, Deontay Wilder has 41 fights, 40 knockouts, only one draw, right? Been having the title for longer than any of the other cats, right? Any other cats. So that would be his argument, right? That title longer. And, WBC, matter of fact, and he been wanting to fight people, which I always say you need to factor in when you're talking rankings and pound for pound lists, because the people that do pound for pound lists and rankings, you're boxing nerds. You know the game. You're not just on the outside and casual fans. Casual fans shouldn't even make rankings and stuff because they don't know the inside stories. People that know the inside stories also should factor in, hey, he wanted to fight him and he didn't want to fight him. We know that, so that factors in. It never does, but it should, right? So Deontay Wilder, we know, wanted to fight the guy that was number one and couldn't get it. He wanted to fight Tyson Fury again, and Tyson Fury didn't want the rematch and went on to do other things, right? So that's what his argument would be, right? So, right, those are the positives. The negatives, let's go back to Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko, fainting, right? Fainting. not throwing too many punches, landed 81 punches, or was it 82? The least amount in the championship, heavyweight championship fight that goes the distance in the history of the game. Now, he won it, fainting, but he didn't really beat up Vladimir Klitschko, right? He didn't beat up Klitschko. Then he's been doped before with 2 different substances, cocaine and nandrolone, if I'm not mistaken. He was out of the game, obesity, all kind of other things, right? Those are negative points. You came back from that, but good for you, but you were out while others were continuing to handle their business. You understand? So therefore, doping, that should take them a little bit. Wait, excuse me, you doped, you've done a few things, right? Not too positive there, right? So those are a little negative on him. And some people in boxing consider the style when you're just feinting and jabbing and moving. And you're 6'9", 270, bigger than everybody, but you're allowed to do that type of fighting style. But most other ones are considered to be boring. There, it's not, right? And you drawed with Deontay Wilder. You drawed with Deontay Wilder. Before that, after his comeback, he fought Seferi and Pianeta. So he fights Seferi, Pianeta, didn't even get Pianeta out of there, right? Then draws Deontay Wilder, staying on the outside, draws with him, and now he's about to fight Tom Sparks. That guy is your best heavyweight? Not mine. He's a great heavyweight, but not mine. I'm going to judge him just like the other people, right? Not mine, right? But y'all know who mine is anyway. So Andy Ruiz Jr., right, is just a little inactive, right? He's a little bit inactive. I think if Andy Ruiz Jr. would fight like twice a year, we probably have something going on here. There's no fluke with Andy Ruiz Jr. I would definitely have him on third right now. Definitely. Because I don't think it's a fluke. I just don't think, because you can have one fight. You have to, confirm that. So Andy Ruiz is 3 right now for me, but needs to be moving up. I would have Tyson Fury number 2. Y'all know I would have Deontay Wilder number 1, right? Because of what he's been doing spectacularly, right? Do you think Pianeta was going to go the distance with Deontay Wilder? Think Seferi was just going to be stopped in round 4 or 5 with Deontay Wilder? No, you don't. You know what time it is. And you like exciting fights. You like knockouts. You like people that can sell fights. All of that stuff. Yeah, this pound for pound list by Ring Magazine and others is for people who don't like Deontay Wilder. And Ring Magazine has another type of problem. Deontay Wilder is number one heavyweight, and it's not close right now. He should be the number 1 heavyweight just for the simple fact of I'm standing in there. I'm 50 pounds lighter than Tyson Fury, and he's running away from me, and he was knocked down twice. There has not been a champion probably in the history of the game. Somebody that knows a little bit more than me needs to holler at me and tell me when you found out that a champion knocked somebody down twice and lost the fight. It just doesn't happen that way. And the myth that Tyson Fury was dominating Deontay Wilder the whole fight is just not true. Those first 6 rounds, I gave Deontay Wilder a couple of those. And, I know, oh, you biased, you did Deontay Wilder. That's not the way it works here. Just isn't. Too old for that. I don't get into anybody unconditionally, and it's just the way it is. No, right? There's no way you give Tyson Fury that fight. You give him a draw so he can come back and handle his business. And we saw who wanted the fight and gave him the 50% to take the fight, right? And that $50 million he gave Anthony Joshua. All those things make Deontay Wilder, for me, it's a no-brainer until somebody beats him. Fighting Luis Ortiz when none of these other guys are doing it, even trying. So there's a whole lot of reasons that he's number 1. But listen, Ring Magazine, we know what time it is with them. Seconds out or whatever. And the opinion, there's a lot of people that like Anthony Joshua. And they're going to start liking anybody else except Deontay Wilder. Because for one, he's a brother who's aware and lets you know he's aware. That's why this is popping off, right? Basically, the rankings are anybody except Deontay Wilder. That's what they are. So whatever, right? I know, people don't like when you say something about Deontay Wilder, but I'm thinking about, hey, wait a minute. You say you like boxing. How is it you're not liking picture-perfect knockouts? Highlight reel knockouts. How is that possible from a skinny old dude who just learned how to box? I don't know why people don't like that, right? Well, yes, I do, but I'm just saying, right? Anyway, no, Tyson Fury is not the number 1 boxer in the world, but Ring Magazine has him there. But they had Roman Gonzalez there too, and many others who shouldn't have been. Right? That's how they roll. Gennady Golovkin was up there, and just anybody when Andre Ward should have been. Gennady Golovkin's 8 pounds lighter than Andre Ward and didn't have to fight him. No, not right now. He's too much. Right? Right? He was able to do that. Just like now, he's able to go fight Steve Rose, and after that, call out Canelo like he's done something instead of fighting Charlo or somebody with the WO strap, which would have made your fight with Canelo undisputed. Doesn't have to. But I bet you Ring Magazine don't have him far in the pound for pound list. Guarantees you about 5 or 6. Still in front of the Charlos, in front of the Andres, definitely in front of the Jacobs. But it will be. So when it comes to pound for pound list, I know what time it is, and I'm sure you do too. Tyson Fury is the #1 heavyweight. I don't agree. But I got him at #2. Don't Sports Talk. Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.